manage it?
Well, I must say, we watch what's happening in Britain. We say ourselves, why don't you have Operation Sovereign Borders? You know, why can't you turn the boats around? I think it comes down to political will. I think that's the most important thing. It's not, you know, like there's a policy you dust off in the bottom drawer and that just makes it happen. It had elements to it. We had temporary protection visas, so no one could come and apply for asylum. You could be left in Australia for a period of time, then you were sent back to your home country. So you had no certainty that, like here, that you left France, got to England and you were going to have an English life. You had no certainty if you left Indonesia, you'd get to Australia and you'd have an Australian life. We would send you back and everyone with you.
Practically, how would you do that? Because what people in this country...
We put them on planes. Like, literally, it got to the point. First of all, you got to turn the boats around.
How, logistically? This is...
Well, there's three elements to it. Turning the boats around, offshore processing and temporary protection visas. In terms of turning the boats around, it literally was the Navy and the Border Protection Force turning the boats around. When the people smugglers used to scuttle the boats and 30, 40 people would end up in the sea, we decided we would take them off their boats and put them into yellow lifeboats that were unsinkable, put them up with plenty of fuel and literally with a sat-nav, send them back to Indonesia. We were that determined. Now, we did that. We also processed them offshore in Nauru so they didn't come to Australia and trigger all the court and legal obligations that we have under international conventions, and they weren't then fed by that sort of activist parasitic class who helped sponsor them all the way through the courts and use our legal system and appellate structure to stay in the country. Now, every single time I sat in the, our equivalent of COBRA, National Security Committee, and all the experts sat around the table, all the military chiefs who said, oh, Prime Minister, it's getting tough now. We've done this, we've done this, we've done this, but they're betting him at this, you know, extra element. He would say, well, go back and try harder. I'm not taking no. And it's one of those things, and I think this is why it's stuck in the mind of the public. If you say at an election, I will stop the boats, you've got nowhere to hide. Politically, right? One boat comes, 4, 5, 10, 15. You haven't stopped the boats, you have failed. So it's a high wire act for a politician to make that sort of commitment before an election, and you've got to deliver.